Okay, just a quick update video on the Hacker Helmsman. It's come back because it worked for a while and then it stopped working, which is really strange because I did have it on for quite some time. Also, the buyer said it was eating batteries, so I need to check the current. But I've just been working my way through the wiring here, so I've got it just cobbled together at the moment just to test. But lo and behold, it's at the moment no output at all. Headphone jack, just bridge them out. Sure enough, the headphone socket is open circuit, so I need to get that done. There's also a 10 ohm resistor that switches into series when you plug a headphone in. I mean, that's looking pretty ropey, so I'm going to redo that connection, make that a bit nicer. Put a new resistor in there, got a new 10 ohm resistor to go in, and that'll tidy all that up a bit, heat shrink it all up nicely, solder this back together properly. It's not particularly well soldered actually, which is not brilliant for one of these sets, so I'm going to get that all done, and hopefully that'll be it back to the owner. So I'm going to strip this one out, pull it apart, clean all the contacts up, put it back together. That should sort that, and just redo this this wiring here. In fact, I've got to redo probably that whole piece there. So I'll get that done, and fingers crossed that'll sort it. Okay, well, I've got the headphone socket out of line now, totally stripped out of the case. So let's just pop it on that buzzer so you can hear it. Let's pop the light on. So that should have continuity between the blue and the yellow. Totally open circuit. So what should happen is that should be closed circuit. When you push the headphone jack in, you switch in a 10 ohm resistor in line with it in series, and that makes this open circuit. So this is normally closed, so that switch is open circuit inside there. Just thought I'd show you that. Next thing is to try and get the thing out. Doesn't look as straightforward as the Hacker ones. Sorry, as the Roberts ones. No surprise there. It's well and truly in there. Normally with the Roberts ones, I'm able to just prise up the edge here and slide it out, but I don't think I'm going to be able to here. But I say, we do want to retain this. I am going to pop a new resistor in there as well. Redo that connection a bit, it's not very nice. Get some more heat shrink on it. So, I'm going to get this out now, somehow. Join me in a minute and hopefully it'll be apart. Fingers crossed. Okay, here is the pesky headphone socket. So all I've done, again, I bent the tab up there and just punched it back out through the front face. So let's have a look here. A slightly different construction than the Roberts ones. It's different. Okay, so there's no contact in that front piece at all. That's just a plastic holder. That's quite good because it can only go back in one way, because there's a little plastic peg there that's hopefully you can see that. Let's get a little bit more light on here. yeah, there's a plastic peg just there. You can see that, it just goes into this piece. So the trouble is down in here, and this looks pretty murky really. Should have pulled this out, I suppose, and serviced this. There's a lot of muck and gunk in there. That. Contact is actually not very good on this. It's just like a little we can actually get the contacts out. We should be able to. The contact is just a little tiny point that fits onto that plate there. So let's see if just clearing that has got it out. Let's zoom out a little bit. Stick it back on buzzer. Still not making contact, so it needs to come out. So I'm going to desolder these tabs a minute, just with a bit of braid. Just cut a fresh bit off. Come on, Mr. Braid. And the last one. Okay, yeah, I've got my fiberglass pencil out. I've taken one of the contacts out here. Oh, that's a bit closer. So this one's going to have a go over first. It does look slightly bent. What that is. But, anyway, let's get in here and give this a good cleaning off. As I've got some of this wet wipe underneath me. Don't want this stuff getting in anything. Let's hold it with some pliers, a bit easier. That's better. Okay, that's that one. I want to make sure I get this the right way around as well. Right. Hopefully you can see here I've got lights all over the place now. For my own reference as well. So I'm just going to make a quick sketch because I want to pull all three pieces of this out and I want to make sure I get them back in the right position. So bear with me. Okay, got my little diagram there, so I'm going to pull out the second one. Okay, that's all the parts cleaned up now. Just got to get it all back in. I think, as I say, this looks, I don't know whether it's purposely bent like that. It looks possibly like it's a little bit bent, so I'm just going to ease that one out of it. I hope it makes better contact as well. So now I'm going to make sure I get them in the right place. So let's put them back in the order that I pulled them out. Okay, there it was, all back together. So we've got our 3 tabs all back in. Everything pushed back down as it should be. Make sure they're all in properly. Seem to be. So let's have a look now and see if we've got continuity. So we should have continuity between this terminal and this one. So let's have a look. Yes, we have. Nothing between the... Yes, there we go. So, tricky little thing. Just going to reassemble it now. What I'm going to do is just pop a little bit of deoxit in there. That'll stop it corroding back up again. Just pop this piece back in. Bit too much deoxit there. And that's got to go back through there like that. Just going to make sure I'm square. Then we just got to push this lock-in piece back down in. So just pop that in the vise now, just tap that in. That'll stop that moving out. Just before we do that, let's just double check again. We have continuity. Perfect. Phew. That's a relief. So I'm just going to pop this in the vise now, tap that back, and then let's go back in, solder it up. Right, I'm just setting up to solder this resistor in line. It's an unusual way that Hacker have done this. I've just tested the old resistor, and that's actually reading about 13 ohms, so it's a bit out of spec. I've got a new one there. It's an older style resistor. Keep it in with the age of the radio, and that one's 10.1 ohms, so it's pretty close. So that gets soldered in line in series with this wire, and then the end of it gets soldered to the black wire, which is a bit strange, but there you are. So what I'm going to do first of all is just cut off a little bit of heat shrink, just to slide up over that joint. I'm just going to pop that back a little bit. I must try and slide these together. I mean, these third hand tools are pretty useful. I use this one quite a bit. Don't use the magnifier, mind you, but right, so we'll cut that off back there. I'm going to pop some flux on it because this is old wire. And it's a new old stock resistor as well, so I don't know how old that one is. Let's get that clamped if I can. That's about it. Get that soldered on. There we are, that's a good joint. So I'm just going to clean that off with isopropyl and slide that heat shrink up. So I've got the flux on it, which is lovely stuff. Slide that heat shrink up over there. Yeah. That's nice. So I'm going to pop a bigger piece of heat shrink over the whole of that now. I don't think that one will go over, will it? Yes, it will. I've got to redo this joint here. This is not very good at all, that one. Yeah, that's not very good. Let's wind these wires back up together. So these are the speaker connections, so be careful. Yeah, was just come off that. Okay, I'm going to think about that a minute. I might could put a crimp connector on there, but I'd rather solder it, to be fair. Well, there we are. Not the prettiest looking thing on earth, but that's pretty much exactly how it was before. Apart from I've got heat shrink now. They use some sort of like rubber stuff around the original one. So I've heat shrunk the wire going up to the resistor. I've put heat shrink on top of the resistor, then I've put another lot of heat shrink over the top of everything. So I've actually got 3 layers of heat shrink on there, so I don't think that's going to be an issue in the future. So just got to solder these wires back onto here. Solder the aerial connections back on, and then this bit can go back in. Okay, I've got it all temporarily hooked back up again with just flying leads here for the minute. I'm just going to connect it back up and make sure everything's okay. Yes.
To kick in. They say at the time that they weren't told about the change. And now one of the MPs they're going to be speaking to this afternoon is the Conservative MP for Torridge and West Devon, Geoffrey Cox, and he joins me now. Mr. Cox, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. That's working fine.
So, you've obviously been aware of this along the line. Is it fair in your eyes?
Well, I think the problem...
Now, one of the other things that the chap I sold this to said was it seems to be drawing too much current. It's draining batteries very quickly. Well, I don't know if the headphone socket would have done that. Maybe. I don't know. But thought we'd have a look at the quiescent current on it. So I'm just going to get that up a minute. Okay, put it all back together. Soldered the link back in. Put the board back in. All good. Just got it hooked up for one final try. Perfect. A nice lot of volume there as well. Right. Put it back together.